Hello and welcome to the Modern Dandy. Today I want to talk to you about flat caps, their history, how you can wear them, and what you should buy when you're looking for a flat cap. But first, a little bit of history of the flat cap. The flat cap was originally worn in 14th century England. It was worn by commoners, by the working class, and there was actually a bill passed to force working class men to wear caps. Now, they weren't quite how we see them today. This was kind of a prototype, but there was a bill that forced them to wear them on Sundays and holidays. It was a very small fine, but eventually, even though this bill was later repealed, this kind of hat was very ingrained in the sort of Scottish Irish culture. So it really did start to become associated with the working class. Later on, it started to become popular with a lot of people, especially even the upper class, in a country casual style. It was kind of considered, when you're affecting the air of casualness, it was worn by the upper class. However, by the 1930s, it started to fall out of favor. Flat caps are the most common kind of classic hat you'll see today. You'll often see them among maybe older, especially working class men. And they are really a sort of very casual hat. And they're the most casual you can get because I don't consider baseball caps classic. Now, these are best worn in the fall, winter, and early spring months. You will see them in the summer worn by some men, but really these are going to keep your head warmer, so they're best kept to the colder and a lot less hot months. There is definitely a sort of air that it can affect, which is very much a country kind of air. So you'll really want to keep it within those styles. So colors that you'll really want to do are browns, greens, and gray. I really wouldn't recommend a navy hat because these kind of hats can fall into the realm of fashion. These can especially be associated with denim hats. Black flat caps are really not something I would recommend either. I have seen them, but black hats generally, outside of very formal affairs, are really not your best option. So really you'll want to stick to those few colors. Really, if you think you would see it in the English countryside, it's probably a safe bet. And if you don't think you'd see it in the English countryside, maybe it's best to steer clear, because that is where the origins of these hats lie, and that is where they're really best kept. Now you'll see a few different colors on flat caps, or patterns on flat caps. You'll see different things like checks. You'll see things like stripes. I have a couple hats to show you that one of them has a pattern. But you'll see a few different kinds of things like that, and they're really a very you can play around with patterns when you really can't with other hats. There really isn't any other hat that you can play around with patterns with. So this is your opportunity. Now, flat caps are definitely best worn with more casual outfits, probably not shorts as you might see them sometimes because that is a summer look, but they're really good to be worn with polo shirts and slacks. They can be worn with suits, especially tweed suits and country suits, but you may be best sticking with more formal hat styles if you want to wear a hat with a suit. And they're really best for more casual. At least a sport coat is probably going to be where you're going to be safest. So how do you style a flat cap to your face shape? If you have a thinner face, you'll want to keep your flat cap thinner, less round, and if you have a rounder face, you'll want to keep your flat cap rounder. So, for example, I have here this flat cap. I can put it on right here. You'll see that it flatters my face shape because it's thin and it keeps my face that nice thin shape. If you have a wider face, you'll really want to keep a wider flat cap. It'll really balance everything out. So what constructs a flat cap? Well, a flat cap is a very simple hat generally, but it does have a bill right here. These bills can sometimes be opened by a buttoning point. However, in a lot of hat styles, they're simply sewn together. Really though, the rest of the cap is just a simple piece of cloth. Now they can come in different panels. They can come with, as I said, a little bean on the top. But really, this is going to be a very simple hat. It can also come in the back with adjusters. You can unclip it and then clip it over here. That can make it a bit wider, but for me, I keep it right here. Now I do have another flat cap that I commonly wear, this brown one. It comes in a herringbone pattern, and I can wear it with a lot of more casual country style looks. I actually have bought the hats from the same maker. So these two hats are pretty much the same model, just in different colors. And I actually really recommend doing that if you're going to wear a flat cap. I really think that if you're going to wear something that, and you've found something that really fits your shape, that fits your look, sticking with that style really isn't the worst idea. What famous people have worn the flat cap? Well, there's the Prince of Wales, there's David Beckham, but no one has really made it their signature style. That's a household name. It's really just worn a little bit by everyone, especially in traditional British culture. So what stereotype is associated with the flat cap? Because often classic hats come with a very specific stereotype. And this one is definitely the Irish farmer, the Irish working class kind of person. So, and I'm going to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, this stereotype is really only, I think, a 5 out of 10 of how bad it is. It really depends on the person. If you like that, that's alright. If you don't, that's okay. How do you avoid it, though? Well, really, if you wear it with a dressed up kind of style, with something like a suit or something like a sport coat, that can kind of easily get that away. The thing you'll probably want to avoid, unless you want to look like a walking stereotype, is wearing it with a buttoned up shirt, with braces, with slacks, and just that. That really is the stereotypical Irish farmer drinking whiskey all the time kind of stereotype that you'll really want to avoid if you want to be well dressed. Where do you want to look to buy a flat cap? Well, eBay is a really good place to start, but I found that Amazon has some really good selections. Both of these flat caps are from Amazon. I think I got them for about $15. So yes, flat caps are a very cheap option and you can get good stuff with it. This hat right here was only about $15 and it really does suit me, and I really don't think I would need to buy any other hat styles. Whereas Amazon often isn't as good, especially for things like suits, you actually can find some decent offerings in stuff like flat caps and maybe even something like bowler hats. So, in conclusion, these are the ways you can wear and style a flat cap. Hats today are a very personal and subjective thing. There really is no, well, you should definitely wear this with this, you have to, or you even have to wear a hat. That's long gone. So really, wearing a flat cap is a personal choice of style, and it's definitely a fashion statement. If you feel like it suits you, then go for it. They are very cheap hats you can get that are actually decent quality. They're very fun hats. They have a very much country look to them. So really, whatever you want, go for it. This is the Modern Dandy, and thank you for watching.